I can edit it, I can
Okay.
trim it.
So we did the porterhouse and the bone-in, and so a porterhouse is 2 steaks in one. It's a large, flavorful cut of beef, which includes a New York strip and a tenderloin, which is filet mignon. It's separated by a T-shaped bone. The larger side is the strip, and the smaller side is the tenderloin. It's usually a thick cut, about 1.25 inches.
All right.
Nice.
And then for information on bone-in steaks, I found an article from a website called steakschool.com, and they did an experiment with 4 identical steaks where they cooked them. One of them they left the bone in on, one they removed the bone but tied it to the steak, and then another one they removed the bone, tied it to the steak but separated the bone and the steak by foil. And then they had one where they removed the bone and they cooked them all. And the only noticeable difference was the one that they'd removed the bone from, where the bone had been attached, was slightly tougher on that steak compared to any of the else. They also noticed that the bone acts as an insulator during the cooking, and that helps the steak retain its juices and moisture. And it also helps during the dry aging process, and it helps keep the meat from rotting. It acts as like a shield.
Oh, nice.
So,
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
yeah.
All right, who wants to go next? Oh, yeah.
You want me to talk first?
You can, doesn't matter.
So we did the pecan, which is actually pronounced pecan. I didn't know that. So pea, yeah, like pea. I know. Popular Brazilian cut, gaining a lot of popularity in America. It's got a very rich, bold flavor. It's also going to be separated instead of a steak that's going to be kind of a mixture of musculature and fat. It's going to be kind of 2 distinct pieces. It's going to have a whole fat cap, and the steak itself is usually pretty lean. And then also, if you ever hear someone say rump cap, culotte, don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly,
Mhm.
sirloin cap, those are all synonymous with pecan. I didn't know that either.
Okay.
Best grilled, not slow cooked. Usually more flavorful than a ribeye, as well usually also less tender than a ribeye, but that kind of depends on who's cooking either one. So, but more flavor. Anything?
I mean, you have all the things I have. It pairs well with the chimichurri sauce. Like you said, it's a slightly firmer texture than most other cuts. And it's from the upper rear of the cow, covering the top sirloin.
Nice. Good job. Thank you guys.
Chef mentioned yesterday that he said you might not want to go rare on that because it can be chewy.
Okay.
So,
So don't go rare.
Rare to medium is like probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's your steak free. Or the
Steak. Okay, we did Creekstone Farms. There's conflicting information on Google.
We found a couple of different
Shocking.
companies called Creekstone Farms.
Okay.
We were, oh, go ahead.
Sorry, there was one in Kentucky,
Okay.
in Campbellsburg, Kentucky, but the owner sold it and now it's not connected with the Creekstone Farms.
Okay.
That is associated with the 100% natural Black Angus beef.
Okay.
All of their cattle, even their cattle that are outsourced, are third-party verified, and they're 100% of them are raised in the USA. The cool fact that I found about it, they use an optimized single plant design as far as like
The feed?
harvesting the cattle.
Oh, okay.
It controls every aspect of production, the whole production process, and it was designed by Dr. Temple Grandin to promote humane animal handling practices.
Oh, nice.
And the plant we found was Arkansas City, Kansas.
Okay.
That was their headquarters.
Okay.
The headquarters is.
They pride themselves in their consistency. So if they do outsource their cattle from a neighbor, it's all verified, third party. They do all the USDA checks and everything like that to make sure that it's the same.
Okay. Wonderful.
Do you have anything else?
I did find a place in Frankfort, Kentucky, that's also called Stone Creek Farms.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought Tyler had mentioned that our beef was sourced from Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought maybe that
Yeah, that's probably it.
was it, but I wasn't sure.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of looked up some things about this this farm. It's locally owned. The man who's running it has been breeding cattle for decades. It's short-horn, registered short-horn cattle, so the whole process is very monitored. I'm not sure what he has to go through for
Mm-hmm.
as far as like registering his livestock. It's really highly quality controlled. He uses seasonal forage blends and he rotates them in different pastures.
Mm-hmm.
And it just gave some information about how the cattle live like a stress-free life.
Nice.
I think they're very well taken care of.
I think
Okay.
something else said, was it no hormones?
I don't think it mentioned anything about that.
If not
I
that
think
one.
they're naturally grain fed though.
Okay. Awesome. And some of this I'll verify. I'll try to verify with Tyler. It'd be nice if we can get a rep from from that meat source to come out and maybe do a presentation too.
That would be awesome.
So
Yeah.
awesome. Thank you guys. Yay. You guys ready? Juan and Cece?
Yeah.
Okay. So we are reviewing certified Angus beef, cab. So certified Angus beef is basically a type of like branding or like a certification of how you grade your steaks. It has to be Angus influenced, and it has to be a type of cattle, typically a female cattle, a heifer, so they had more meat on them. And typically those would have a solid black coat, so black fur. Some of them, like the male cattle, they can have like brown fur as well. They are also a lot more muscular as well. Normally with cattle, whenever you start, butchering, they have to be free of any muscular or any capillary rupture, so they can't be injured, if that makes sense. They have to have a good grass-fed diet, no artificial hormones, antibiotics, none of that stuff. Just kind of ensure it's full flavor and nothing kind of artificial. So, also with CAB, there's mainly 10 requirements to certify that it is good for restaurants and for steakhouses. So, if you want to go over some requirements.
Yeah. One of them is modest of higher marble, and then medium to fine marbling texture. Only cattle harvested less than 30 months, and then 10 to 17 square inches ribeye area, 1,100 pounds, or less, and then superior muscling, and then it has to be visual appealing as well, and then no dart cutter, and then no neck hump exceeding 2 inches.
So also going back to like the marbling texture, like the little white lines, the thin lines that you see in your steaks, like if those are like nice and like formed and organized, that signifies that that it's been it has been ruptured or that it has much more, it's been aged well or to full capacity. So it really kind of secures those flavors, and the juiciness as you cut into those the grain of steak. So, but yeah, that is all the information we found. Oh, also with CAB, there's different kind of grades of steak. There's your select, then there's your choice, and then there's your prime. Prime being the highest grade as far as how the cow is, grown and harvested, how it's fed. Only 3% of beef in the United States is only certified CAB Prime.
Okay.
What you would find in your grocery stores, even like tops, you could find some Prime selections, but the majority of like grocery stores would carry like choice. I think
Yes.
that's
Mhm.
choice. Select would be your more kind of like your low tier. A lot of those cuts would be like your sirloins. A lot of muscular beef, stew meats would be kind of categorized in that select grade. A lot of more of like your premium cuts, like your tenderloins, your ribeyes, T-bones would be like kind of like choice plus or prime. So,
Nice.
yeah.
Awesome.
There we have it.
Thank you guys. All right, so